the JBW, does that apply in Mexico, in your experience? And do you know what JBW is?
No, I was just gonna ask you that. What is that
Okay,
exactly?
basically, just be white. Can just like an average white guy show up to Mexico, not really learn Spanish, and just have success with Mexican women compared to something like maybe Asia?
That's a really interesting question. So, I think yes to a degree, but no also to a larger degree in the sense that so you will stand out. That there is a whole whiteness thing in not only Latin America, it's actually most of the world. Again, going back to that Tongan girl I did in high school, her mom used to buy skin whitening products, and she wasn't very tech savvy. So she's like, all right, I need to go on like the Japanese eBay and buy these skin bleaching products. And for me, I always thought that was the weirdest thing. You know, as a white guy, we want a tan, you know,
Right.
but I have noticed to a degree that does exist in Mexico. However, I've had plenty of white buddies come down that don't know the culture, that are kind of seen as awkward based on Latino perspectives. And
Mhm.
okay, yeah, like just being white, that'll get the attention. That's just like the whole attraction thing. You'll hear guys in the
Right.
red pill space all the time. Yeah, you can be jacked, but if you don't have a personality, you don't have game, it only gets you so far. It'll get you in the door, but it's not going to get you any further. So in that sense, I think that yes, there is a degree of that whiteness element. But the minute you open your mouth and you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, or you just don't have game in general, then that
Mhm.
can blow up in your face very quickly. Whereas I've got a couple buddies here, two Asian buddies and two black buddies, to where, okay, yeah, on the surface, maybe they don't have the perceived SMV I do, but they've developed game in their own ways to where they do very well. In fact, they do extremely well. But we a lot of times we'll get together, we'll have drinks, and we'll kind of share our strategies, completely different tactics. Because
Mhm.
I do understand that there is that factor to a degree, but I always get that like, okay, like you're pretty cool for a gringo, or like, okay, yeah, you're American, but you're not like other Americans. I'm like, yeah, I'm not weird, you know,
Right.
based on Latino perspectives. But again, I think that goes back to the fact that I went to college down here, so it
Right.
just like just be cool anywhere you go, and I think you'll have a good time.
Right. Well, I tell guys that because there is, a huge Eurocentric population in Mexico City, well, in Mexico, the just be white theory, a lot of them look like so it's,
The
you
college
really
I
don't.
went to,
Uh-huh.
they were more European than I was. I'd go out with my buddies.
Hmm.
We'd go to like little pueblos and stuff outside of Guadalajara, and they'd go to
Hmm.
my buddies that like, "Ay, pinche gabacho, maldito gringo." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that guy's the gringo." I'm like, I'm the white guy here," you know.
Right, right. Right. And so I say that you're competing with, the local guys, and the local guys, they know Spanish, and they know a lot about American culture, especially like the upper middle class Mexicans. They have
Mhm.
visas, they speak English, they have
A
family members in
a
the
lot of the
state.
rich people are American citizens. This was a thing years ago to where we have citizenship by birth in the US. So the wealthy families, when the wife is pregnant, back in the day, I'm sure they still do it now, but I'm not fairly certain. They
Mhm.
would go to the US, and then because the university I went to in Guadalajara, a lot of girls I dated didn't speak a lick of English. They're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm a US citizen. I was born in Phoenix. I was born in LA. I was born in Houston. I'm like, well, how's that? They were
Uh-huh.
from high enough wealthy families to where the mom would go to the US and they'd have the kid in the US. They have the dual citizenship thing, and then they get, they get benefits and, chances for jobs in US universities or whatnot. But yeah, again, it's hard to comprehend coming from the US. I know in US mainstream media, we do talk about the class thing, but in Latin America, the class thing is very, very abundantly clear. So if
Okay.
you are from the upper middle class or above, you live a completely different reality than someone from, the neighborhood we went to, for example. Or I was telling my roommate to get the residency program. I think it's something like $3,500 a month. That's the income requirement for the last 12 months. That's pegged against Mexican minimum wage. That's 300 times the Mexican minimum wage. So do the quick math. That's like what, $10, $12 a day. So
Yeah.
there is a very, very steep difference between the social classes here.